welcome to Fidelity Next. I'm your host, Tamara Radachai. Our student program is a big part of who we are. We welcome students throughout the year, and as the program continues to grow, so do the opportunities for students to learn, contribute, and build their careers. Today we're sitting down with two students to get an inside look at what they've discovered so far, from their first impressions to the lessons they've learned and what a typical day looks like. Please welcome Olivia Francis and Zain Ali. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's get things started with a little bit about you. Tell us your story. How did you get to Fidelity? Olivia, let's start with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us. My name's Olivia. I'm currently in my first term at Fidelity, working as an operations control student in the client services division. And so far, it's been a really great learning experience. I also go to Wilfrid Laurier University, where I am a comms major and have an econ minor. And I'm going to my last year, which is pretty sad.
Bittersweet, right?
Bittersweet,
Right.
Very bittersweet. But on top of that, I have previous experience working with a financial advisor, actually, where I learned the ropes of the financial industry and ultimately made my decision that I really want to stick with the financial industry through my career path. I met a lot of great connections to Fidelity, which is a big part of the reason why I'm here today.
Great. Cool that you got the other end of it, right? With the
Yeah.
financial advisor and then got to see.
Yeah,
both
great
sides.
experience.
More on that later. Zain, what about you? What did your journey to Fidelity look like, and what do you do here?
Right, so this is my first term with the Fidelity team on the FCC banking side of things, and my journey with Fidelity started at my school, actually at Schulich. I'm entering into my fourth year, and I'm an executive on the Schulich Black Students Association, which Fidelity has always been a huge sponsor of. So that involved networking reps and campus ambassadors, and it was through those conversations that I learned about the program, learned how well revered it was, and knew that it would be the right fit for me. And through many, many conversations, I ended up with that interview and sit here today. Very happy to see where I've come.
Great. And what does your team do at Fidelity?
My team, it processes all inbound and outbound funds coming into the clearing company. So that involves going for wires, checks, EFTs. My main responsibilities are the physical checks, so that means a lot of in-office days, got to be where the checks are.
Right.
And yeah, that's a little bit about my team.
You've described Fidelity's approach to the student program as very intentional. I think that's a really great word. How does intentionality come across in your experience here?
Right, so intentionality for me worked on both ends. On my side, it started with my search for my first ever co-op. And I was going through the list of companies, having those conversations. I tried to focus more on the campus ambassadors, the fellow interns, get a direct POV of the kind of work I'd be doing. And I ended up in the right place because intentionality on Fidelity's end, I've come to learn, is really investing in your interns, right? It's never just the 4-month period. They want you to become a professional, and they want that to show and hopefully turn into a return offer, but it's never just a 4-month term and you're cut and done. One thing that was really important in my research that I noticed from Fidelity is every intern I would look into on LinkedIn was never just a one-time. Always had a second term, always ended up a campus ambassador. It's never just the one thing.
Yeah, that's a really great mark. I know, I've seen students that have done 5 terms plus even.
Right.
So yeah, there's definitely something that keeps them
There we
coming
go.
back, right? Olivia, you touched a little bit on what you do here, but outside of the scope of your day-to-day role, what are some other exciting activities that you've been involved in?
Yeah, so one thing that I really loved about my time at Fidelity is the opportunities outside of just my job and just the role itself. So one of the things right off the bat, the first few weeks, Zain and I actually did it together. We had the opportunity to do Bay Street Games, so I was able to be a captain of one of 2 intern teams. So that was such a fun experience. Not only did I get to meet and network with all different types of interns across all different teams, but make really strong connections and honestly people who I could call friends today. But on top of that, I've also joined an ERG here at Fidelity, which is the Women Leadership Group. And I found that to be something very inspiring. It's a group of many women who are like-minded, have things in common, and coming into the company just as an intern, someone who's still in school, it's really great to hear from people who are more senior to me about their experiences with women leadership in the company. And we bounce ideas off of each other, we get stories, and it's been a really amazing experience.
Yeah, and the Bay Street Games, is that sports? Like,
Yeah, sorry, I should have touched on that more, but so it's a charitable event, but we went onto the field at U of T and we did some hardcore activities. We were out in a sweat. It was 35 degrees that day, but yeah, it was tough, but it was super fun.
Quite the day, but you know, they say you bond best through trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happened.
Great way to get to know each other,
Yeah.
for sure. Zain, you mentioned working here. You have, it's not just an intern job, it's real responsibility, right? Real responsibility comes with wins and losses, maybe,
Oh, yeah.
or lessons, let's say. Why do you think that's so important for students, especially as a first-time co-op?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. It comes back to that same idea of intentionality, and one of the pillars of the intern program is that you do full-time work, right? This isn't some cliche movie where you're running around grabbing coffee. You're taking on real work, real responsibilities, and kind of easing their plate for their more advanced responsibilities. And with that, it's given me that really like gratifying feeling of feeling like I'm valuable to the team, right? That I'm instrumental in the day-to-day operations. This task has to be done by me or it won't be done, right? And that's been more than valuable. It's given me that responsibility, but it's also let me learn some lessons along the way, some mistakes here and there, but without that real responsibility, the mistakes wouldn't have held that kind of weight and taught me the lessons that they have. So I don't know, it's been a standout feature for me.
I mean, mistakes don't ever end, so it's good to get used to that early on, right? Olivia, doing a co-op in a new place sort of has its own open road aspect, right? You're making new connections, you're sort of discovering things about yourself. With that, what's something that you're looking forward to?
I would just say, and it's a great thing to say, is I am really looking forward to the future. As Zain kind of touched on earlier, I feel like Fidelity really feels like a place that's welcome to come back, and there's so many opportunities. Even my manager, like, we'll sit down, we have great conversations about where I see myself going, who I can chat with to make that possible. And I feel like this is an environment that is just so open and like compassionate. Everyone is so welcoming. And so something I am looking forward to is just what the future holds for me, and the ways that I've learned professionally and personally with Fidelity has been really helpful into what my future holds for me. So I'm just excited to see what's to come.
Oh, I love that. And then Zain, touching on the same sort of idea of openness and open-mindedness, why do you think that's really important for students as they move into a role, and like how did that show up for you?
Right. I'd say this question applies very specifically to me because when I received my offer, it was for FCC operations. And only on day one did I find out which specific division I was in. There's 5 different roles that fall into that title. And ending up on the banking team, there wasn't really too much preparing for it, but having that open-mindedness, knowing you could be on any one of those divisions and learn how to apply yourself within that. And that same idea that Olivia just touched on of all the different departments, right? Not once has it ever felt like I was confined or limited. My manager would be the first person to encourage me to reach out to other departments to give them a shot. Funny anecdote even is I wanted to extend my term with my current department, and as much as my manager wanted me to, she did encourage me. She told me, Zain, you're in a special place in your career right now where you can explore. Please do it, right? So that's something that
Yeah, absolutely. Now is the time to do that. I mean, it's never too late, of course, but yeah, totally. Another question for both of you. What's something that you've learned about yourself while at your term here at Fidelity? I know it's been a few months. It's slowly coming to an end. But
Don't say it.
Let's start with
Yeah. Well, one thing that I would say that comes to mind first is a curiosity that I've never really seen from myself before. I've always been someone who's like very driven and go-getter, but even from day one, I was curious to know not only about my own department, my managers, but everyone around me. I wanted to know their roles, where I can learn from them, and maybe even places where I can like help and put myself into. And so that curiosity has really been beneficial to me. So as we kind of talked about, those opportunities like that leadership group or doing Bay Street Games was because of my own curiosity. I was, doing that extra research to see what was up at Fidelity. And I feel like that's been really helpful and a skill that I will continue to keep with me professionally and personally.
Great. Zain, what's something you've learned about yourself?
I've definitely gained a greater clarity in my career aspirations. I was a server for the last several years and always had that social side of me and was very one-track minded towards sales. I must be in sales. And then I ended up in an operations back-end role, right? The kind of role where you can put your headphones on and grind away on your laptop.
Right.
And like I found the beauty in it. Honestly, I've deviated a bit away from that tunnel vision towards sales and realized that maybe I'm more suited for a middle ground, but I never expected that for myself.
And those were great skills to have either way, right?
Right.
You're dealing with people all the time, so good to have that in your back pocket, whether you're using it on the front line or on the back end, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Olivia, as a first-timer at a new place at Fidelity, what's something you think every student watching needs to know that they might not know about Fidelity?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, the first thing that came to mind that I didn't know before coming to Fidelity was about the Fidelity Cafe. That is so amazing. Every time I'm in office, I log in, I will grab my drink. My go-to is a sugar-free oat milk latte. But all of that aside, I would also say the student programming, which Zain touched on earlier, is something that I didn't know much about, but that has been one of the best experiences I've had at Fidelity. I feel like we've learned so much through the student program. There's almost a thing every single day, whether it's a divisional overview or even yesterday we were learning about how to eat bread properly and proper etiquette, which is I think something we wouldn't learn outside of Fidelity. So I'm super grateful for the student programming, and I think more students should know more about what that has to offer.
Cool.
I have to
yeah,
echo her
add to
point
that.
on the Fidelity Cafe. I had a million conversations, campus ambassadors, networking reps. No one brought it up.
I don't know why.
I had no clue. And so I showed up here first day. I thought my manager was treating me when it came up free, and I was like, wait.
It's on me.
It all clicked.
That is a fun little surprise.
Yeah,
right?
it's a good
Especially
one.
on first day.
Yeah.
Zain, just to end things off, what's a piece of advice you have to other students who might be thinking about a first-time co-op opportunity?
All right, I'd say the best thing you can do in terms of real application and going towards your first co-op opportunity is to prepare, right? Get all the things you can ready before day one and just really hit the ground running there, because with starting any new job, there is that lag of getting access and getting all those certain things learned. But if you are fully devoted to preparing for it before day one, then you can shine in a way that makes you stand out.
Love that. That's really nice. Thank you both for all your thoughts and insights today. It was so lovely getting to know you.
Thank you.
as well.
Thanks so much to everyone who tuned in today. If you're inspired to apply for a co-op at Fidelity, our next student recruitment period will be in mid-September for the winter term. Be sure to stay tuned for that so you can send in your application. If you want to re-watch the show or share with those who missed it, you can find it on Fidelity Canada's YouTube channel under the Fidelity Next playlist. As always, it's been a pleasure being your host, and we'll see you on the next episode.